Welcome back to another episode of Bobcat Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Ethan Bishop, and this is my other host,
Nick Brown.
And let's catch up on all the action that happened this week in Bobcat sports. Roll it. So last week, our football team went up to Richlands to play the Blue Tornadoes. Unfortunately, this is our first game that we came up short, 28-45. Although they kind of ran up the score at the end of the game, so it makes it look a little bit worse. But ultimately, it was a loss. It's our first loss of the season, but they're a good team. So
yeah, Richland's a very fantastic team on the offensive side, especially. They also had pretty much doubled the amount of players, so that could also help. That helped a lot in the end with the tiredness. But they're just a great team. Their offense, led by their quarterback, Cade Simmons, he's unbelievable. He's very accurate, very accurate quarterback.
They've also got a very good wide receiver too.
Yep, Sage Webb, the sophomore, was burning our DBs the entire game. He's just fast out there on just slant routes and just post routes. Made it look easy. Their running back also, Isaac Steele. He had a pretty good running game. 181 yards for the ground for him.
Yeah.
Their rushing yards,
23 carries for 181 yards. Wow.
Yeah, he was very quick, very hard to bring down also. Rushing yards were about even, 212 for us compared to their 284, but it came down to the passing. When you have 163 passing yards versus our 50,
yeah, it kind of spells for bad stuff. But a couple of our players, man, they had some good games.
Yeah.
Darius Wesley Brubeck, he had another solid game with 15 carries for 113 yards.
And a touchdown.
And a touchdown, too.
6 in the last 3 games.
Yep, Zane Roop, he also had about 28 rushing yards, so not too bad either for him. And
Zane Roop, he was pressured all game long. Their defense line was pretty solid. Our offensive line still holding its ground very well with them all, but he got pressured. And Kamari Tanner had a pretty good breakout game. He had 53 rushing yards and just 4 carries. And then Jarrell Baylor also 40 yards up the middle, just pounding away the rock. But overall, it was they were just much better in the end.
Yeah,
they had more talent around.
They had more than double the amount of our first downs, so they just kind of dominated us about that.
Penalties were a strange factor. The reffing and officiating was just strange overall. The refs were not exactly consistent throughout, and only 5 combined penalties accepted. It was just a weird game when it came down to the officiating. I can't really explain it unless you were there, but overall, they just outplayed us with their talent in the second half, and it just sucks that we're all banged up. We could have gone in there and absolutely whooped them if we had our full team.
Yeah,
it sucks.
It's been quite an emotional week too. And then so that I feel like that maybe had a little bit of something to do with it. It's also a long drive up there.
Yeah.
So I think our guys were tired. So I don't think that there's too much to be too sad about. We're still 4-1, still number 6 in the Timelands. I think they were one of our hardest teams that we've played this year. So.
Yeah. So we got James River coming up. And I think that'll be a little bit of a bounce-back game. James River are very down this year. So we can get some momentum coming, beat James River, beat Allegheny after that, bounce back. But there's no reason why we shouldn't just win out for the rest of the year. Everybody else is pretty beatable on the rest of our schedule. We knew Richlands was a good team. They were 1-3 coming into this game, but had one of the toughest schedules in all of 2A by far. So losing to them, not bad at all, and having the opportunity in the end. Heck, we got an onside kick and could have taken the lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we were definitely in it. We were only down by 3 at one point, and then but some unfortunate events happened. But
so overall, it was a hard-fought game. The boys never quit, and they play really hard. But Richlands just had more players than us, and they were just ready for that one more than I guess we were. And that's not even our fault. We weren't obviously looking over them. It was just such an emotional week and hard week of practice.
Yep, for sure.
So volleyball went on the road both games this week, Tuesday and Thursday. Traveled up to Glenver to play the Highlanders, and then on Thursday traveled up to play the Buffaloes of Floyd. Unfortunately, the Bobcats went 1-1, so 500 on the week. Beating Glenver at Glenver pretty handily, pretty well. And then at Floyd, It
Unfortunately, we got
one of the worst games of the season. That was a direct quote from many of the players. They said they did not play well, and Floyd just played out of their minds, sweeping us 3-0. So, Bobcats a little bit down in volleyball the past 3 weeks, but
something to look forward to, though, is as we were talking about last week, that the Florida Gators we're looking at Trinity Adams, and guess what? She commits to Florida, so.
She will be attending Florida University, who won the national championship a couple years ago in volleyball. She will be attending there to continue her academic and athletic career down there. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, I think that's awesome to go to a Power 5 school, especially a team that's dominated too, as in the Florida Gators and the SEC. That's a powerful conference for volleyball.
Yeah, she has been emailing that coach since she was in 8th grade, so obviously one of her bigger dreams in her life to go and play for them. And it's just great for her that she's been given the opportunity to go ahead and do it.
Yep, we're very excited for her.
Yeah, and so this week, big week, huge week, huge week. We got Carroll County on Tuesday. I know you guys won't see this till after those games. We got Carroll County, who's pretty good, beat us last year, only team to beat us last year. And Giles at home. That's a big game. Very hyped up.
Yeah, they're one of 2 teams to beat us this year. So now that game too, there was a lot of drama that happened when we went up to Giles. So, but this time it's on our home field. So.
Yep. So we're gonna hopefully next week be talking about getting a huge win over Giles also. But I know that. And it's a surprise for Charlie tomorrow. This is Monday. For Tuesday, she will be honored for her 1,000th kill against Carroll County at home. So she won't see this if she's watching this. She won't see this till after that all happens. So we can talk about it here. But yeah, she will be honored tomorrow for her 1,000th kill. Hopefully people will be out there. And it's against a good opponent too, Carroll County. That's not a bad time. So hopefully it's a day of celebration, and then hopefully we go 2-0 this week.
So our golf team, this next Monday, they go on to the River Course for their state championship.
Yes, sir.
And speaking of which, we actually got an interview with Mr. Cody Roberts. So roll it. Hello, and welcome to an exclusive interview of Bobcat with Bobcat Sports Weekly. I am joined by Mr. Roberts, or Coach Roberts, as some people know him. He's also my drafting teacher, so that's pretty cool. Tell him how good of a student I am.
He's best. Thanks for having me.
But alrighty, so how are you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing fine. Wish the weather was a little bit better than the amount of rain we're getting right now, but we'll still be practicing later.
Yep. So tell me how excited you guys are about going to your second year in a row to the state championship for the golf match.
Well, I'm very excited, and I know they are too. And last year was a bit of a learning experience, and last year we went down to my old neck of the woods, Lonesome Pine Country Club, and we lost to a very good Union team that was playing on their home course. And this year, it happens to be that we're the home team. So So we're very excited about that and ready to take on the River Course and all comers come Monday.
Yep. So we hope to see some of our Bobcat fans there at the River Course on Monday. I think you all start off at 8.
I think the first group will go off at 8, but I think Trevor will be in the second group, teeing off at probably like 10 after 8.
Yep. So we hope to see a lot of Bobcat fans there. So how's this season looking like different from last season? Because obviously you lost a couple golfers.
Well, yeah, we lost last year. We lost B, and that was obviously a big hit. But we've managed to hit our stride here at the end of the year. Last year we peaked too early, and this year we've started to play better here at the end of the year, as you saw in previous episodes. That we regained the pig, and we've got the pig for the rest of the year.
Yep.
And I really feel like our best golf is ahead of us.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit weird too. We were expecting y'all and Floyd to be in the state championship, but Floyd they got kind of upset by Giles.
Yeah, that was a shocker for all of us. I mean, we came in before Giles finished and thought we had the whole thing wrapped up, and then Giles snuck in and beat us by a couple shots.
Yeah. So what's the key for you guys winning the state
I think
championship
honestly, just using golf terms here, just avoid big numbers, and that's double bogeys or worse, and just showing these other schools that we know these greens better than they do. I think that's going to be the key to our victory, and I think the whole team is kind of, we've all accepted that.
Yeah, I think it definitely puts us at a pretty good advantage that we're playing at the river course. And
Yeah.
that definitely helps out because y'all play on that course just about every day. So.
Just about, and the course is very tough. The greens are very difficult, and having an advantage of knowing these greens is going to be the biggest key for us.
So how have y'all been preparing for up towards Monday? Because I've heard you talking a little bit. Like I've heard Gracie went up to Roanoke to practice a little bit, and tell us a little bit about what y'all have been doing to prepare.
Well, I mean, we've obviously at our range practices we've spent some time hitting balls, but the main thing is just chipping and putting and getting making sure that part of our game is as crisp as it can be.
Yep. And so also too, like what's like the most proud moment that you've had this year?
Well, I feel like especially here towards the end of the year, I feel like everybody started to click. John has had some really good rounds at the end of the year. I mean, Trevor's been phenomenal all season. Getting Nick back was a big thing, and he scored in, I think, all but one of the matches he's been back. And then Jack and Graham and Gracie have been working hard too. And Caleb Sparks, he's not seen a match in a few weeks, but the kid works incredibly hard. So it's nice to have him as our ace in the hole.
Yeah, it's very nice to have, especially too because he's a senior. He can be a senior leader.
Yeah, and Dalton Joyce too. I mean, they've not missed practice. They work hard every time. They listen, do exactly what we ask, and I mean, it's been very businesslike here, especially the last couple weeks.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome to see. Like, although like they might not get as much playing time, they're still out there like working to try and get better. And
Absolutely, and they know that on any given day their number could be called. Somebody could get sick the morning of state, and then somebody has to come fill in, and that's as the next man up attitude is kind of like what we've had. I know a lot of sports practice that, and golf is no different.
Yep. So, is there anything else that you would like to add before y'all go on Monday to compete for our first state championship that we could get this year?
Well, this is my ninth season coaching, and this has been the goal from the beginning. I've had some good golfers, some decent teams throughout the years, but it has not been. We've not had the type of teams we've had the last couple of years, and even next year we're going to have a really good team too. So I just think I love the support we're getting from the staff, the students, and even my former golfers keep up with how well we're doing. And I know they're gonna. Those that can't be with us on the course on Monday will be with us in spirits, and I know they're all rooting for us to bring it home. And nothing would make me happier than to bring Radford its first golf championship.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if we can pull out a good championship out of golf. Our first one, would that be the first one?
Yes.
That'd be definitely pretty awesome. So we hope to see a lot of you guys at the river course, and hopefully next week we can be talking about a potential championship next week. So
well, hopefully I can come back with a trophy.
Yeah, hopefully we can bring you back
next week
with the trophies. So this has been Mr. Roberts, Coach Roberts. We want to thank you for coming on the show, talking with us, and this has been it. So signing off.
So yeah, obviously Coach Roberts excited. I'm excited. Our team is excited, especially being at our home course. We also get a little bit of an advantage because we were being able to watch some of the other teams come down and practice this weekend and throughout this week. So we'll be able to go down and get a little peek at how good the other teams are doing. So hopefully we're gearing up. We're working really, really hard, and I'm hoping we can get our first ever state championship.
Hopefully next episode too, we can be talking about how y'all pulled out our first state championship this year. So
that would be very joyous. I'd be very happy about that one. So, yep, 1 week from today is when we're recording this, and then Tuesday we'll be recording whether we lost or won it. So, we're excited. I'm stoked. That's all I can say really about that.
Yep. So our cross-country team last Saturday went down to Greensboro for the Hagenstone cross-country classic. So, and let's be real, our girls kicked absolute butt. So I mean,
it's true.
It's facts though. So Abby Barnes, Emma Hastings Crummy, and Angie Lynn all were second, third, and fourth place.
That's
behind who the first place girl was. That's a minute ahead of everybody. So I mean, you can't really be too mad about that. And Abby and Emma, they were within a second of each other.
Yeah.
So
they could have held hands across the finish line there.
So they were neck and neck. And then coming in a little bit after, Annalise Stewart, she comes in at 7th. So not too bad at all. Ellie Buskill, or is it
Buskill?
Buskill.
Buskill.
Yeah. So she also came in at 13th. Can't complain with that, too. Out of, let's see how many runners there were. There were 90 runners, so not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Alice Lynn.
Yep, she
17th.
was 17th, so can't complain with that.
Our
So.
top 6 girls placed 17th out of 90. That's not even combined. That's like our 6 girls were 70 or higher in the top 9. That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, you definitely can't complain about that. Especially too, the first place girl, she was North Stokes, and I'm not seeing any North Stokes players like anywhere in like the top 20.
Yeah,
So
she was out of her mind. So give her props. That girl props for winning by a minute. So you really can't complain about how well we did for the girls. They did great. Now, it's a different story on the boys. William Hartick was the medalist, number 1. He won by about half a second. He ran out of his mind. 16 minutes and 35 seconds.
yeah,
That's
a bit
flying,
faster
man.
than what I can do. So
He was absolutely screaming. What else is here? Landon Root.
Landon Root, number 12, not too bad.
Yep, Gillum Lard finishing out the top 3 of our boys at 20th. And if you want to scroll down, we'll see how many total guys there were. Oh my!
Okay,
Woo.
there is 162 runners.
That we'll take it, man. So 3 out of the top 20 out of 162 runners. That's great. But William Hardick being the medalist, that's awesome. And then the girls obviously dominated cross country. Very, very successful weekend. And I know Coach Caro will be very happy when I see him next period in calculus.
So not as good of a week in Bobcat sports this week as we have had, but I mean still can't complain. We came out with a couple wins, and thank you to Coach Roberts for coming in and talking with us. We greatly appreciate it. We wish the best of luck to the golf team as they go on to states next Monday. And so yeah, anything else you'd like to add?
Well, Trinity Adams committing to Florida, cross country, absolutely destroying it out there, and then volleyball 1-1. Not too bad actually. So if you think of the high spots, so we're excited. Hopefully this week we'll be a little bit more, a little dazzled in there with more wins, but we'll see what happens.
We've
man.
also got a lot of home games this week
That is
too.
true.
So we got 2 volleyball games at home. We've also got
Football game.
a football game at home. And then we have golf at home too.
That's
so
true.
Come out and support the golf team.
Hopefully y'all can come down. We will be teeing off at 8 in the morning. But
Yeah, I'm not getting up that
I know
early.
you aren't. But the event will not be over till about 5 o'clock because we're the first wave, and then there's a whole second wave, and then the single. So the whole thing won't be over till about 5. So if you can come out after school, work, whatever, we'll be greatly appreciated about that one.
Yep. So this has been our 8th installment now.
9th. Wait, no, 8th. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
it
at
is
8th.
8. And we're still going strong.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
glad to see y'all. I hope y'all are enjoying at home. Be sure to like and subscribe. And
Go Bobcats.
go Bobcats.